yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest. That's why.
What's going on, y'all? Lloyd Jones from Midnight Comics, and of course, Indie Breakdown, where we break down the stats, powers, and abilities of all your favorite indie comic book characters. And I don't think I shared this in the group, so bear with me just a second. Let's go ahead and do that because that's kind of the main purpose of what we're doing here, is doing a Q&A session. So, we're gonna start from the top. Exactly what Indie Breakdown is, was, and will continue to be. What we did with the official show. And of course, answer any kind of questions or anything of that nature. I will share my screen and all that other good stuff. Bear with me just a second. I will get that set up. And in the meantime, you guys are going to look at that lovely intro one more time.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Boom. Okay, we're back. Of course, everybody that's just now tuning in, Lloyd Jones of Midnight Comics, and of course, one half of Midnight Comics is, of course, we run. Me and Natasha run the company, and produce all the stories and all that good stuff. You guys don't know that, obviously know that. And of course, I am one part of the Indie Breakdown, the creator of Indie Breakdown and Indie Versus. Again, a show where we break down the powers, stats, and abilities of all your favorite indie comic book characters and get them ready for an eventual Indie Versus matchup. So the purpose of today is to really just do a Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions as it relates to the Indie Breakdown, the Indie Versus, and all that good stuff, and of course, as soon as you start going live, that's when you have somebody that needs so we're going to go back over what exactly the overall goal is, and then answer any questions that you guys may have, because we've got an influx of people. I think the last time we really dove into the rules, really dove into some of the points of the admission, if you would, of Indie Breakdown was like at 200 followers or members, if you would. So now we're approaching very quickly the 700 mark, and I think we got to kind of reiterate and kind of go over and dive into some more of the inspiration of what we are doing here. So starting from the top, man, this camera is killing me right here. 1 second. Y'all just gonna have to see the garage because this virtual background ain't it. So we'll blur it a little bit. I'm mad the dang leaf blower is so clear through the, anyway, regardless. So again, so we're gonna start from the top. What is the Indie Breakdown? Indie Breakdown, again, power stats, abilities of all your favorite indie comic book characters, and get them ready for that Indie Versus matchup. And we have a show. So aside from the group, in case you guys don't know, it's on the off season right now, but we have a show or a podcast version of this where we interview 10 people a season, and kind of, again, go over the power stats and abilities, read the book, do a character breakdown, then bring them all together for a creator class, something very similar to what we did with Lawful Evil and oh my gosh, in Spiff Nation yesterday when we just talked about Dark Spider and Hopebreaker. So something very similar to that, except for 10 people on, I'm moderating, and we kind of go through that, and then we do a randomizer wheel to decide who fights, and then we take all of the data, the interview with the creators, the feeds from the comic books, and of course, the breakdown that we did and all of that other good stuff, and make our determination, right? And so obviously everybody's determination could be different based on who you think could win, so on and so forth. So we invite that kind of conversation and continued dialogue. But the caveat on the show, which makes it so much easier, is that you have to have a book. And whatever is in the book is what we use. Now, obviously, when you switch over to the group, we don't have that caveat, right? It's just bring a character, let's see what they got, right? And so it makes it a little bit tricky. So obviously we've run into some discourse, some issues and stuff like that in the group, and definitely want this Q&A to kind of rectify that so that we can dive into back to having fun. I don't want any, I would hate for discourse to continue and people not want to participate or anything of that nature because of any misunderstanding, so on and so forth. I do love trash talking. Don't get me wrong. I love trash talking. I love people talking about my character's better than your character because X, Y, and Z. So let's please continue that. But I just, again, want to have this Q&A, this discussion, so that you guys know what we're trying to accomplish here for you. And so that we can kind of continue on this, the trajectory that we're on and continue to grow and all that other good stuff and get you guys some visibility. So anyway, if you guys have questions, please drop it in the chat, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Facebook. Anyway, so here we go. So what makes it tricky in the group is that it's not required for you guys to have a book to participate. What we want is, a drop a character, tell us if you want to give us the bio of the character. Obviously, you need to tell us the power, stats, and abilities, right? And I've seen the question pop up of, how can we do that without spoiling the story? And I did give an example in that post, but I'll give another example now, right? How can you give the powers, stats, and abilities of your created character or titular character of your story and not spoil the story? Example, we'll use Soul from Midnight Comics, right? So Soul has the abilities of two Egyptian deities, Amun and Ra. Not only the abilities, but essentially some of that physiology because of their essence being molded and merged into him in the womb, right? And so because of that, he has the basically deity physiology where he's got the durability. He's got the ability to manipulate the properties of the sun and pull that energy from there because that's what the sun god Ra could do, right? He has the ability to manipulate the air and all of that because that's what Amun can do, right? Because it's a merger of his human physiology and these deities, that armor, his uniform, is like a self-defense mechanism. Think white blood cells, if you would, but think also greed from Full Metal Alchemist, right? And so that's why he has that armor. That's why he has that suit, so on and so forth. One caveat when it comes to Soul, though, he doesn't have anybody to show him how to use those powers. He was not imbued with the knowledge of Amon-Ra because the essence of Amon-Ra, when it dove into Soul's mom, portion goes to Soul's mom, the knowledge, the powers go to Soul. So how do they navigate that? How do they figure out how to deal with the realization of the gods, the powers and stuff of the gods? Find out in Soul Issue 1 and 2, right? So I kind of gave you the powers. We kind of gave you a brief story, but didn't really tell you anything in regards to the story. We kind of set it up, and now we could dive deeper into the powers, right? So because of the sun manipulator ability to pull energy from the sun and manipulate and use it in whatever way that he needs to do, again, apart from Raw and all that other stuff. But anyway, in my example there, right, we didn't spoil the story. We gave you a little bit to interest you, but I could have left all of that out. I could have just said he got the powers from the sun god and the air god, really, Amun and Ra. They fused together, gave him powers. These are the powers he's got, X, Y, and Z. He can fly because of the air manipulation. He can harness the power of the sun because of Ra's, the deity and the dominion over it, so on and so forth. And that doesn't spoil the story. Now, if you feel like you need to share more, right, that's perfectly fine. But one of the examples that I use quite often, again, this wasn't typed up. One of the examples that I use is we can't say Goku versus Superman, right? Back in 1986, right? Dragon Ball has just dropped, right? And we say Goku versus Superman at that point. Does he have Super Saiyan? Absolutely not. No form of Super Saiyan exists at that point. Does he have Ultra Instinct at that point? No. Super Saiyan God at that point? No. None of those things. So when you say it, again, imagine we're back in 1986 and you say Goku from Dragon Ball versus Superman at that point in time, easy wash for Superman. Why? That he's just a kid in the woods and he's stronger than the average human, right? We can't say 30 years from now, 40 years from now, he's going to have Ultra Instinct, right? Because we didn't know that at the time. Right. And so what we're hoping for within the group is that we kind of, there's a little bird that just landed in front of me. One of the things that we're hoping in the group is that what is your character's stats now, as you imagine them now, right? And one of the things that makes it interesting is we're not necessarily looking for the end game version of those characters either, right? Obviously, the example that I gave you with Soul, this is an in-game version of Soul, but that's what I got in Soul 1 through 3. That's what's verifiable in issue 1 through 3. Can he do more? Can he exert himself more? Da, da, da. Sure, hasn't been explored yet. So one of the handicaps that we're kind of doing as it relates to folks with books is we want to see what they are now and what are they going to do to navigate any kind of battle from within the group. Characters can be stronger than each other, but how are they going to get it out of the mud? How are they going to strategize? How are they going to use their ingenuity, the environment, all of that stuff to their advantage? So I have several examples of that because what we do at the end of our seasons, in the main season of the Indie Breakdown, when we do the show and we do those interviews, and what we end up doing is we take all that data and I actually write a scenario out depicting what exactly how I imagine the battle taking place. Something very similar to what we're asking you guys to do, actually. So I'm going to share my screen really quick, and you guys will take a gander. So really quick, as you guys can see on my screen. Hold on. Really quick, as you guys can see on my screen. Oh, okay. She was showing me that other people were watching. Okay, everybody that's watching right now, definitely appreciate you guys. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and I need to drop in everyone join on here so that everyone can be watching. Hold on. Boom, 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 boom. So I'm about to hit the everyone. Can I hit the everyone join on here? Heck no. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna sit here and delay any longer. So, example of what we've done for the main series, right? So, obviously, we've done 2 seasons, 10 each. So there's about 20 videos, and then, of course, not 20 videos, but 20 articles that I did, but also our event that we did within the group. But we did a versus match at the end of each season, right? And so, here's what we did based on the data. We did a video, and I'll play the video as well. Oh, I guess this is also a little bit of the character breakdown. So here's this.
What's going on, everybody? Lord Joseph Midnight Comics here. Of the average human, their
Right.
powers give them the necessary edge to make this group of teens a force to be reckoned with. First up, we've got Quan, aka the Alpha Leader.
And so we did something like this. This one's 2 minutes long. We talk about each of the characters from the Delta Dogs, and that's what we randomly generated. So we had the Delta Dogs versus Black Bow. So then we had a video for him as well. We're not
From
asking you guys to do
powerless
this, but
citizen
this is
to
the
the
example of the
symbol of
stuff
hope
that
for
we
Nickel
were
City,
doing for the
Black
main
Bow vows
series, right?
to end the corruption of his city and sets his sights on ending corruption in the world as a whole with the ancient powers of Anu. So Black Bow in base is at peak physical strength. When he taps into the powers of Anu, his strength is taken up tenfold. He has superhuman accuracy.
So, blah, 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 blah. Talk about the characters all the way through. But then what we did, right? Because I could just say, Delta Dogs, seven guys. Sorry, well, 7 different characters. They're washing them, they're jumping them. But that's not a satisfactory answer to me personally, right? Like, they're going to jump them. Okay, but, right? Let's talk about each of the characters. These are teenagers that lack experience. They're just now starting their hero's journey. Black Bow is definitely older. He doesn't have anybody to worry about. There's no liabilities in battle. He's got some real experience already up under his belt. And solo, he's got more to work with than they do individually as well. Their power really comes when they work as a team. So we were like, all right, what does this battle look like? How does it get started? And so what we've been trying to do is put that aspect in you guys' hand by saying, hey, they're getting ready to fight in Gotham City. All right, what does that fight look like in Gotham City? The initiation is up to you, right? And so yesterday when we were talking with Dark Spider, I keep calling him Dark Spider, Rashawn and Spiff, it was, all right, Gotham City. Rashawn said, all right, he's on the rooftops. He jumps down. He sees this guy, jumps down and gets ready to start rumbling. Boom. There we go. So what we did in this one, as an example, Delta Dogs are facing off against petty criminals in their neighborhood. When they hear/see an explosion in distance, they all arrive seeing Black Bow killing some muggers in an alley. So obviously taking from both stories, right? I did read both of the stories and stuff like that. And he guts muggers. He has no problem killing them. They're not going to jail. He's tearing them up, right? But they would look at that like, oh, he's a criminal. They wouldn't ask any questions. We know this based on how they do in their own individual stories, the personality. That's what I'm looking for, right? As hey, what's going on, Ralph? What's going on? So, what I'm looking for in these matches is, again, y'all don't have to write entire full length battles and stories, right? But just saying, Delta Dog got 7 guys. They're going to jump Black Bow. That's why they're going to win. No, that's kind of disregarding the entire experience, entire skill level, entire arsenal of the character Black Bow. So give each other more credit in regards to you guys as characters, and really dive in and think about how these things happen. And what I want to do, or what I'm hoping for, is if you guys dive in and really tell us how your character can beat the other character, that gives you, you know what I mean? Like, you can argue back on one, but what I'm looking for is sake of conversation. Ralph, you got a Tridian versus Jupiter, man. What I'm hoping for is you say, all right, they were, oh gosh, where were they at? I forget where we had them fighting at, but sake of conversation, I do remember Blitz and Powerhouse were fighting on the raft. So for an example, it's like, okay, they're fighting in the raft. That's a place with a bunch of prisoners. They were just bringing villains in. Like, I want to see, like, how do you craft that story, right? Are they rumbling before they get the prisoner in the cell? Like, I want to see what your mindset is, what your character's mindset would be. What is their focus, their intent? Like, I want to see what exactly they're doing. And so Obviously we're not talking about adding picture stuff and stuff like that. This is just something that I did for fun. Spiff, what's happening, bro? So again, just showing you guys an example of what we did in the past as it related to versus matches for those on the show. Obviously, again, we'll kind of go back over what it means for people that have books and people that don't have books. What is the proof of feats? How are we going to quantify things? So on and so forth. Yeah. So, and also, again, this is going to be a Q&A. So I'm talking right now, but if you guys have questions that you want addressed, now is the time. We are going to be making some shifts and stuff soon, but we are also taking feedback right now, as we've done in the past, and making necessary changes. Because way back when, there was no like permanent judges. It was just fan vote. And this is slightly addressing what Prince talked about the other day. Like, it turns into a popularity contest really quick. Absolutely. And I'm not gonna hold you. Look, like it happens. It absolutely happens. Right now, I'd hate to. Are we gonna have battles where casualties don't matter? Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna bring in various arrays of scenarios and situations. But the reason why that one kept happening is because we were waiting to see who was gonna take it into account, right? We saw people using like absolute ultimate moves, like world-ending supernatural move, like intense things. That's just like that's not you. You wouldn't have your character do that in story. They would take certain things into account. But again, I love the trash talking. I love the back and forth banter, and I was hoping to see like, hey, I punched him up, but I wanted to avoid hitting the, you know what I mean? But we can do better of explaining, right? Explaining those things. So soon, like kind of like how you guys see like those random battles, just out there in the wild, if you would. No back, no battlefield removal, no this, no that, da 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 da. But then, yeah, two good guys, Rob, maybe a reason for them to be there. And that's partially why. No, yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely, Rob. So for those of you guys that are new, which honestly, in comparison to before when we were doing this when we first started, you guys are definitely newer. So part of this is for those that have been here for a while, but also trying to bring everybody up to speed as well. Before though, yeah, it was kind of just like Prince said, it Slick was a popularity contest, and that's why we introduced the judges, like permanent / rolling judges and stuff like that. Because yeah, I'm not trying to go against a Tridian right now. Absolutely not. You've done a fantastic job of rallying your fans and gaining new community and new fans from this. Because oh my gosh, that match between you and Jupiter, man, that was a complete wash. Like you absolutely killed it. You're 5-0, mind you, right? So like when you come in here and you are active, you're visible, you are talking about your character, you're talking about everything they can do, you're very specific, you're showing feats as much as you can without spoiling the story, and it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It helps build that audience, and I think that's to kind of retract back a little bit. That's part of the whole point of this group, is to get you guys to talk more about your stories and your character stuff and gain new audiences and fans, right? And so people will be like, oh, I want to see what he does in his story. Who is he fighting? He's got a lot of powers. What's the threat? So on and so forth. And I really like it when it's like, holy crap, I try to put out my guys' feats and stats to be fair. No, and absolutely you do. Absolutely you do. And I got to thank you for that. You do a fantastic job. I thank you. All of that to say, you're doing a fantastic job. You guys are doing fantastic. I'd hate to go against him right now, though, because you got it laid out. And honestly, stat for stat, a Tridian is more impressive. A Tridian's more impressive. There's nothing I could do. He was casually lifted stuff, all that stuff he was doing in issue 1, the screenshots that I saw, I still got to buy it. But I went to the website. I was looking at the little shots that you had in there, the little preview shots. I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. My guy might be washed because my guy doesn't have any training under his belt. He's just was stronger than everybody else that he encountered. He doesn't have any training, right? And he's also reckless. Swift, what's going on, bro? Costa's got some new fans from here, and I've become fans of a lot of these. Exactly. The point of the Indie Breakdown and the Indie Versus is to get more visibility for all of us indie creators, and utilize this platform to basically help reach audiences that you may not have already. And again, gain a new audience for yourself, some new fans and stuff like that, and build interest all the way around. Because we like indie comic books. You know what I mean? We all like indie comic books. And honestly, until we got into the space, until we started to actually meet some of you guys, never seen any of these stories before. I think I saw a Tridian once before because I had worked with Vince on a couple things in the past. So I'm pretty sure that artwork is Vince's. It looks familiar. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it. So yeah. So long and short of it is, yes, I love all the indie breakdown. Yes, absolutely. And so that's one and very encouraging to hear, because the whole point is doing this for all you guys, all the creators that are in here, all the creators to come. And so yeah, Vince, yeah. So it was Vince, yeah, for sure. So yeah, we just want to help everybody else get more visibility and more, and stay excited about the characters, stuff like that. And also on top of that, we want to help with, creativity, right? We want to help cultivate more kind of creative mindsets and stuff like that, so that you can take the, some of the stuff that's happened and been like, you know what? How would my character, like, again, if, Dark Spider and Hopebreaker are fighting and stuff like that, I would love, like, they could be, a Blazing Sun is coming. Oh, Page talking heavy. Blazing Sun is coming. So anyway, I don't want to keep rambling. We're gonna go back to what I had up here. I do like that design for Blazing Sun, by the way. We definitely got to chop it up, man. A Soul and Blazing Sun would be heavy. I think it makes more sense than the Pinpoint one I think we talked about before. Um, Hey, I stumbled across you live. Good to see you helping other indie comic book creators. Oh man, thank you for that. Yeah, honestly, look, I'm trying to help everybody help themselves. Honestly, get more visibility, man. That's what it's about. That's what the whole thing with Indie Breakdown is about. Like, y'all getting visibility, y'all talking more about your characters, y'all learning from each other, and supporting each other. I think that's a huge thing. So absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of the messages that's happening in the background here. But yeah, so example of what we did during the official show. Paige was a part of that. And several of your other kind of members as a part of the group have been a part of it. We did about 20 of them. And we're on the off season again, but we hope to get ready to start back up at the top of next year. But yeah, here we go. So we did Black Bow versus Delta Dogs to kind of recap. And what we did is we took all of the data, right? What they do in the comics, what the creators say the intent was at this point in the story, the personality, what all of those things, right? And applied it to this matchup that we kind of typed out. And again, you guys can head to midnightcomics.org if you want to check out the whole thing. But like right here, let's go to some of the attack encounters, right? Black Bow realizing that he's surrounded by the Delta Dogs, draws his arrows and looks around thinking about his next best course of action. However, diving right into oh snap. Oh, diving right in to throw him off Zig and Trio blitz Black Bow, which we see in the comics. Like, okay, this is their personality. They're going to just dive in there. They're the fastest of the crew. Most people can't keep up with that. But Black Bow manages to dodge Trio's attacks, but is struck in the face by Zig. He might get overwhelmed, right? We've seen him fight multiple opponents, but nobody that fast, right? He can't, like, he could perceive bullets, right, and get in the way and block him and stuff like that. But Zig is moving faster, and Trio is also a heavy contender when it comes to speed in verse. So he rolls with the punch spinning. Still, again, that experience, he's rolling with that punch, the inexperience of them, they're not expecting that. He fires off an arrow. Quan uses a shadow to catch it. Quan is what? He's the gang leader. He's been in the streets, right? And he's the leader of this group. So he's definitely, paying a little bit more attention and is quicker to react because he's been in life or death situations before, right? But Black Bow's not trying to kill him. A flashbang goes off. Like, he's using his gadgets, his quick thinking. That's the kind of stuff that, like, every move, we're thinking about that counter. Black Bow realizing they're kids, he doesn't want to hurt them. So he plans to escape instead, because obviously it's a misunderstanding. If you guys go back to once you read it, right? Black Bow does kill people. He kills muggers and stuff like that. These kids don't. So they see him in an alley. There's blood everywhere. There's bodies laid out. They're going to dive into battle. There's that personality coming into play, but also now it's his turn for personality to come into play. We're like, oh, you know what? These are kids. I'm not going to hurt them. They're not going to listen to me right now either. So let me get out of here. But they're keeping the pressure up. That's what they do in their story. When they're all together, they're keeping it up. However, Black Bow gets up and knocks out the kid, the youngest one. Curtis is the brother of that kid. So now he's in a fit of rage, just diving in. So again, taking these personalities, taking these ideas of what has been presented. What's going on with that? Are we also going to have 2v2 matches and team matches? Absolutely. We've done several of those in the past. We had Christmas Germain's team, category 7, as well as the Americans go against each other. Way back when we had Paige and Tony Cottrell going against each other, they both had teams called Hit Squad. They both had teams called Hit Squad. So we had them go against each other. And so yeah, if you guys have teams, that's one of the things that we definitely want you guys to definitely do. But I need Hopebreaker in those stories you're showing. That would be dope. Absolutely. And this right here, again, to go backwards here, on our official indie breakdown show, we interview 10 people. And then we do a creator class, similar to we did with Rashawn and you yesterday, Spiff. And all 10 of the creators are talking like, hey, my character could do this, 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 and this. And hey, Calvin Chambers with Icarus Metro, my characters can beat your character because boom, right? Because now we've learned about each other's characters. We've given each other time to kind of jot down like they would win because they're able to take this guy out, do this, his weakness is this, boom, 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 right? Yeah, and so we do a randomizer wheel and then determine the matchup, and then we type up how we see the battle playing out based on that. But what I'm asking during these matches is not just saying, and I'm not saying that anybody is saying this per se or pointing fingers, stuff like that, but what I think the example I used in my comment is he wins because he's Batman is not an acceptable response. Batman beats Superman because 9 times out of 10, he's fighting and taking advantage of the Clark Kent. Right? He knows Superman's conscious what he's going to do. But if we're just talking about take relationship out of the conversation, and it's Superman unaware of who Batman is, or Batman's a bad guy, or whatever the case is, Batman's getting washed every time. Right? It's kind of like again, what we're trying to do is what do they look like on paper? What's the personality, so on and so forth. Right? So anyway, back to it. I do look forward to doing another event soon. So if you guys haven't read the Enter the Mother of Chaos situation, that is part of our amalgam indie breakdown, indie versus kind of universe and stuff like that. Unfortunately, Pinpoint did die in that. But Pinpoint, somebody else got clipped up in that too. Street Smarts got clipped up in that, and that's gonna be canon in that amalgam verse and stuff like that, and just kind of keep it going and stuff like that, just to see where we go. I'm a big fan of XCOM, so permadeath is definitely a thing. But anyway, I'm gonna share my screen over here. This is what our old kind of setup was, right? We had promo Sunday, challenge day, which again, I want to encourage all you guys outside of the official matchups where we're doing the scorecards and stuff like that. One of the things were to get you guys talking to each other and talking to each other about each other's characters. We had a challenge day where you guys sat down. It was just like, nah, like I think it happened on the live yesterday, right? Where you and Jamel were both like, nah, Hopebreaker versus Absolver is gonna happen. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? You guys have challenged each other. Post about it, talk about it, be like, no, my character wins because of this. Like the hope was, especially back here, January 5th, it was, hey, I want everybody trash talking about their characters. Your character is the best person in the group because of X, Y, Z, boom, 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 boom. Right. So Monday was the challenge day where everybody was challenging each other. Tuesday was the defend your character. So you guys are discussing that ideal matchup and why you'd win. Right. Then Wednesday, we had a theme match. So, we'll get to, so I should have started on Saturday because Saturdays was when we were announcing the theme, whether it's a street level character, whether it's a cosmic, whatever those stipulations and stuff were, we introduced that on Saturday. And then we did the official match on Wednesdays where we said, which is pretty much still the same, where we say, all right, this is the main event match, but you guys still challenge each other, talk mess, speak on why your character is top tier. Again, you don't have to spoil the story or anything like that, but just talk about why your character could be whoever it was that you challenged at any given point. So the idea is there should always be somebody trash talking about why their character is winning. So sake of conversation, if you and Jamel want to say Absolver versus Hopebreaker like right now, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all post about it, y'all talk about it, get your people in here to also defend the character, so on and so forth. Talk happy. That's the whole point, because now you're getting that additional visibility, right? And that's the point. More people looking like, well, if he can do all that, huh? And so back to the OP character situation that I saw as a post the other day, right? That's cool. The question can be like, damn, if he's that strong, he's watching everybody in the indie breakdown. Who he fighting in the story? Now it's a double-edged sword, but That just means if you have somebody that's like a universe buster, there's nothing on planet that can take them out. What lies beyond? And once people start asking those questions, you got them, right? You got them hooked, right? Because they're curious. They want to know more. And that's what I'm hoping to kind of cultivate here in the group. You guys continue to ask more. So back to what else we had. So the match would be announced. And then Thursday, all day Thursday, is just speculation and debate. So kind of similar, but we gave a full day instead of just doing it until 8 o'clock back in the day. And then Friday, we announced the winner, right? And then Saturday we started all over. Like, all right, we did cosmic gods, cosmic and gods. All right, we're gonna move over to villains, so on and so forth. So anyway, I have rambled enough about what we did. Do you guys have any additional questions about what we're looking for as it relates to these matchups kind of going forward? Because I know it's supposed to be a Q&A, but I spent a lot of the time talking. I did answer a couple questions, but what other questions do you guys have as part of the group? Let us know. Anything? On top of that, so while anybody's formulating questions and stuff like that, all of that, if you don't have a book, that's kind of where I need to go back to. If you guys don't have a book and you don't have any feats and stuff to show, this is where the character sheets, whether you get it done by Tavis, whether you get it done by me or Lonzo, or whether you just drop the stats based on what was provided by Tavis when the group kind of started, really. So I'm gonna go to, oh, I just need to scroll down. And I made a post earlier. I could have just went to that. Oh, and then there's kind of the visual of what the official show looked like that, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Here we go. So Tavis, thank you again, Tavis. He created this here. And so if you don't have a character sheet done, our recommendation is when you share your character, and you start to share those powers and abilities, we want this included. And we used to require that during matches in the beginning as well, right? So, if your guy is lifting 100 tons, then all right, he's a 6, right? Or, excuse me, if he's able to lift 100 tons, like 101 tons or more, right? 7, right? But if it's like caps out at 100, whatever, he's a 6, maybe 7. Whatever it is for your character, drop it there. So same thing as if you would give the information to Tavis or us for a card. Do the same thing when dropping the bio for your character, so we know where to place you. Because if we're thinking your characters are grounded and they end up being world busters, like okay, cool. We'll just answer your question, Trey. Perfect. So yeah. So with that being said, like this is the hope right here. And so I made a post about it. Definitely utilize this here. Again, Tavis is making cards. He's also drawing stuff out. He's got a deal going on right now. We also have some deals and stuff going on with ours because we are actually offering a character breakdown as well. To where, and if you guys aren't familiar with our character breakdowns, here is, well, basically what I showed y'all with the Delta Dogs and Black Bow one, right? But we'll actually watch one really quick so you guys have an idea. I don't have Prime, so please ignore the but here you guys go. Here is an example.
You can use
of
different shapes to
one
create.
here.
Thrust into a battle with a private military group hell-bent on stealing his tech, Malcolm Crown must become the hero known as Deja Vu. Deja Vu has trained for years and at peak human levels of strength with the help of his suit, increasing his strength several times. His training over the years consisted of a mix of wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and boxing. Deja Vu was able to take on several highly skilled opponents at the same time, even proving to be a formidable fighter, taking down highly trained assassins without his suit on. Deja Vu has precognition abilities, allowing him to see things before they happen. With the help of his suit, he is able to manipulate probabilities to allow him to increase the likelihood of favorable outcomes. At one point, Deja Vu turned off the tech connected to his eyes and ears, leaving him only with his precognition to defeat an opponent who was using technology to cause vertigo. Deja Vu's suit enhances his durability, allowing him to withstand significant damage. The upper limits we have yet to see. All right, let us know who you think can stand up to these characters here in the Indieverses and check.
And so, yeah, so basically that's what we did. And so we are actually offering that as well at this point. So, hold on, it's still playing in the background. Threw myself off. But yeah, So yeah, essentially that's what we're offering as well. So if you guys head to our website, we do have the character breakdown situation. We also do character sheets and digital cards. So if you guys are interested in any of those, specifically that breakdown joint, definitely let us know. Definitely got the audio a little better at this point as well. But Tavis does a fantastic job. So I don't want to mess nothing up as it relates to what he's got going on there. But definitely, if you guys want a video breakdown like this, me and Lonzo are going to be working together to bring those to life for you guys. Initially, I was doing this, but he's more of an audio guy. He's more of an audio guy than I am, so he could definitely make the sound quality a little better. So how would that work without the first book yet? So again, you know the base kind of powers, stats, and abilities of your character. You have pinups of your characters. You know what I mean? So you have images of your character. So if you're talking about with a video breakdown, we did Tony Cottrell's character for her name was Nia X, and we didn't have a lot of images to really work with because she's not the main star of his universe, right? And so, we had to reuse some stuff, but it wasn't absolutely necessary to have 50 billion, right? But, you have an issue 1 about to drop. Tell us where he stacks in issue 1, right? Or if you don't even have an issue kind of laid out or anything yet, that's fine too, right? But you could just kind of bring up, again, my example. I always go back to Dragon Ball because a lot of us have watched that, right? It's 1986. What did Goku have in those first chapters, right? Super strength. He had durability, right? He knew some martial arts because he trained with Grandpa Gohan. He had some weapons training because he utilized the power pole. He had natural instincts because he grew up in the woods. He was somewhat of an expert hunter, right? We talk about Kid Goku pre to just slightly after meeting Bulma, right? So there's his abilities. His stats are he's able to lift boulders. He's able to survive with handgun rounds. He got hit by a car and survived, got up unscathed. You know what I'm saying? So, there's a lot to pull from Goku before he even knew the Kamehameha wave. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing with y'all's characters. Obviously, your character in issue 1, and maybe your character does in issue 1, but Goku ain't had Super Saiyan back then. Goku ain't have Ultra Instinct and stuff back there. But what did he have? He had that tail, right? He was able to transform into an Ozaru. That was a natural part of his design. It was intended for season 1. It was intended he's a monkey boy. He transforms into that. That's what we knew in 1986, right? That's it, right? We're not talking in game. My character 30, 40 years from now going to have Ultra Instinct. We don't want that. What we want is the ingenuity. We want to know what your character is going to do in times of stress when they are up against the wall. How does that look? So for you, Trey, again, you have a good bit of information as it relates to Kosis, right? So tell us that, right? I'm pretty sure you provided a. Did you have a card? I'm trying to remember now, but you had a lot of information as it relates to him in regards to his powers and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a card. So yeah, it's that same information. It's that same information. And so we would take that, condense that, and make a video for you based on that. I got to holler at you about mine after this. Yeah, message me anytime. Yeah, we could definitely help you with that. I'm not ready, but I like this kind of thing. I'm almost ready to make my first book, which congratulations. Absolutely congratulations on that. So obviously we're all on this journey together. And as you all know, it is tough, right? Just the fact, one, I got to say congratulations to everybody. Just the fact that we went from an idea, something intangible initially, and actually are making something out of that and moving forward with this passion is enough for a congratulations, obviously, right? Like that's amazing. Not everybody could say that. So we're doing something that most people can't do. So congratulations on that. But yeah, you did have one. Yeah. So like take that, right? But what we want again is not in-game version, right? We want what is your guy doing in issue 1? What is your guy doing in the story so far? And I think, I was trying to get that across when, and I hope I don't come across as condescending or anything like that. But that was kind of what we were hoping for in the battle against Blitz. One of the things that I was misunderstanding was how the character can be as strong as he needs to be when he needs to be, which obviously as hero characters in our stories, the hero does have to win, right? Everybody could agree most of the time what we do, the trope is somehow or another the hero's going to figure it out. But when we're doing versus matches, that's different. When we're doing versus matches, you know, whoever the challenger is, first off, has the burden of proof. You know what I'm saying? How exactly do they have what it takes? Tell me blow for blow. And again, if you guys need an example, definitely check out on our website. We had Black Bow versus the Delta Dogs. It was a 7v1 fight, and people were so quick. They were so quick to say Delta Dogs, right? I'm not going to ruin who actually won, right? But people were so quick to say Delta Dogs just because of the sheer number. They ain't take the experience into play. That's what I want to see. But also, we also did Evora Lee versus Jupiter Man. And if you guys are familiar with Jupiter Man is tough. Jupiter Man is an immortal being. Evora Lee is a super soldier, you know what I mean? Like a human, right? Jupiter Man has the power of the Roman gods. How in the world can we sell a battle like that? How is that going to work out? We take the personalities into account. We take what's going on in their lives based on the story. Avora Lee has one book. Jupiter Man has, I think he by at this point has two books. But I think at the time this dropped, I think his book was still on Indiegogo, so we could only go based on what he did in issue one. And so we actually still have did script out how a battle would happen. In his story, Jupiter Man dipped out for 200 years. He's reawakened now. He sees a strange energy and in beings to strange energy on this other stuff and begins to follow the trail, right? Avora Lee in her first issue was looking for her parents. She is not thinking rationally right now, right? She is pissed. She's angry. She's trying to figure out what's going on. So when these two eventually end up encountering one another, she's not going to be like, hey, help me find my parents, da 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 da. Da. They're going to come to blows, right? And so again, taking what we know of each character, and I'm not asking you guys to buy each other's books and stuff like that, although that would be wonderful. We definitely want to support each other and stuff like that. But I read each of these books. I own both of their books and stuff like that. So I took personality and stuff, and that's what I'm hoping that you guys at least are comfortable to share. Is what are these personalities like? And that's why we're like, you guys defend them, but we want them in character. So as you're defending them, like how is this character in character talking about this and doing this? You know, Jupiter Man's like, cease this senseless destruction or else. And she's like, senseless destruction. I'll show you senseless destruction, right? She don't care right now. She's trying to find her family. This is urgent, right? And so yeah, they're duking it out, all this other good stuff. Obviously, you know, when I ask you guys to pull imagery and stuff like that. But Avor Lee, let's be real, stands no chance against Jupiter Man. But how do we still make it exciting? How do we still figure out a way for them to get several blows and stuff in and be good, right? Like how do we go about telling that story still? Well, read it and find out, right? How did we kind of spin that story? I don't know over midnightcomics.org. We typed it all out again based on the data that you guys provide. That's what we want to start doing. And it is dark outside now. I'm gonna head in the house, but that's what we're hoping for, guys. Did you guys have any other questions? And again, if you guys need continued kind of examples and stuff like that, go to Midnight Comics or go to our blog section. In our blog section, you'll see a tab that says Indie Breakdown. Click on that, and you'll be able to see how we broke down everybody's power sets and abilities and stuff like that, and then the versus matches that came from that. Okay, so anyway, with all that being said, I want to do one last round, asking anybody if they have any questions. Obviously, of course, the breakdown packages and stuff are always available for you guys. How much to get a video done? So the videos are only 50. And then the only thing that I need from you guys is just to send the various images of your characters, and then we'll do the rest. We'll absolutely do the rest. So yeah, and then obviously you guys take that, use that however you see fit. And then we just go from there, honestly. And then yeah, again, we take all that data. Hell, we'll go back and look at what you've said. How many images do you need? Honestly, as many as you feel comfortable sending. Again, we were talking about I don't remember putting that on there. We were talking about Nia X earlier, Tony Cottrell's character, from Advent Comics, right? And so, I will show you that video really quick so you guys can get another idea. It doesn't take a lot, you know what I'm saying? Can I share my screen one more time before everybody rolls out? Let's see. Autobots roll out.
Mia is one of the best fighters.
So I guess we don't need the audio, but to give you an idea, it's 1 minute and 46 seconds, but you guys will see the same images a couple of times because didn't get there wasn't a lot of pictures to show of that character, right? So, we could still make it work, absolutely, like no problem. So however many you're comfortable with sending, the videos usually are 1 minute to 2 minutes long tops. But yeah, that's what we'll put it together and get you going. Rob, thank you for that. You said great show, man. Appreciate you. Swift, thank you. I can't wait to get that book in my hands. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's gonna be such a joyous occasion when that happens, bro. Like every time it's like it's done and you're holding it. It's like, holy crap. So yeah, I think it's about to get ready to circle through some of the same imagery again. So Swift asks, so these battles are created based on stats rather than the random mix-up fights. Yeah. So what we do, and so yes and no, right? What we want to do is we want to see the stats of your characters so that we know where to kind of place them in regards to a battle, a face-off, right? I don't want to have a mismatch, right? But at the same time, those are fine and cool. Heading in. Those are fine and cool at the same time, right? I can stop sharing at this point. So I picked the match for Powerhouse and Blitz. Powerhouse and Blitz? No, that's not right. Powerhouse and Kosis, right? Because I slick thought that these gentlemen were more grounded than they actually ended up being, which again, cool. But I thought they were both kind of street level characters. I didn't realize how intense these characters could actually be. So, I almost closed it out, but we got a special guest here, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I need you to pause it really quick. I'll be in here for about 30 minutes, okay? You want to finish watching in the room? Yeah, go ahead and do that. The man, the myth, the legend. We would not be still doing this to the capacity that we're doing this without Tasha and this gentleman himself, one and only.
The big Tunchi's in the building. What's popping, bro?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
Chilling. So how did this conversation go in here, man?
Oh man, it's going pretty good. We were going to close out for a second, but there was still some questions and stuff about the battles. I did get slick distracted because I was coming up the stairs. Swift had asked, so these battles are created based on stats rather than random mix-up fights, and it's kind of a combo of a yes and no. We do kind of randomly select people, but I'd be lying if I didn't say that some of the matches were like, hey, these two both look like grounded characters. They both look like street level guys. I want to see what that matchup looks like. Their powers are so different, yet they seem like they'd still operate in a very similar capacity. So let's see what that looks like. So to answer your question, say yes and no.
Yes, for me personally, when I pick matches, it's a little bit of everything. Branding plays a part in it. How does your character look? What's the name of your character? And then, is how active is the creator in the group? Are they going to be commenting and posting and sharing their battle?
Right.
And then, we talk about the science of the battle. We think this is a good matchup because this and that. So based off just your character sheets, that's what we choose it
A
from.
lot happens.
Then when y'all come into the battle, y'all got all these extra things added on to the character that we didn't know about, which then makes him in a whole other class than what his character sheet says. So that's where we get these one-sided battles sometimes because, extra facts get added after the battle's made.
Yeah, and we want to...
You get down? Yeah.
He said, rejoice, I have awakened and I have joined. Now the question can begin. What's going on, Dre? What's going on, Dre?
He has arrived.
He has risen. Glad y'all clearing things up. Appreciate you there, Prince. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
what questions does everybody have? And I guess this is really perfect timing, Lonzo, for you to pop in here. But what other questions does everybody have that we can clear up? Only thing that you missed so far, now I say only thing, we have been live for about 50 minutes, but Yeah.
I didn't know y'all been on for that long. Yeah, I was out preparing for the apocalypse out here.
But yeah, the only thing that we talked about really, we talked about what the official show was, what we were doing there, the difference between the main show and what we're doing in the group. We talked about the differences if you have a book versus if you don't have a book. And I guess we can kind of go back over that really quick. If you don't have a book, it definitely means you need a character sheet, or at least
Yeah. I mean, you can't just be in there just flying off the top of your dome.
I will show you guys that sheet again.
You can't be in there just flying off the top of your dome, and that's not fair for us. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if y'all factor this right, but I'll just use me as a personal example. If I'm battling Kosis, right? Say I got Acolyte versus Kosis.
Oh, I was about to say, go ahead and say Soul right quick, but
no, say Acolyte versus Kosis or something like that, right? I don't have the benefit of saying what Acolyte can do because the people in the comments are like, well, we didn't see him do that. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see him do that in his book. We read his book. We didn't see none of that. So, where's that at? Versus somebody that doesn't have a book or have content, they can kind of just say anything. And then I got to combat that with what I have in my actual book. So people with books were held to a different standard than the people without books. And, it just is what it is.
Right, and that's the importance of whether you get a character sheet from Tavis, a breakdown from us, or what have you. The importance is, even if you don't, we need, when you share your characters and your stats and stuff for a battle, we want you guys to come in with your numbers set. And that used to be a requirement back in the day. So Tavis was there. Tavis remembers that back in the day. Prince remembers that from back in the day. Dre remembers that from back in the day. But we have a lot of new folks. Back then, we had like 100, 200 people when we were talking about this. But we have 400 people that are unaware that that's something that we were doing. So now you guys know when you have a bio or you're talking the powers of your characters and stuff like that, saying, when we're asking for those stats, please take a look at this sheet that Tavis has created here. This should be a pinned or a featured post. Take a look at this here, 1 through 8, and go through it. What can your characters do?
Yeah.
Again, I continue to use this example. The easiest one to use, but if the year's 1986 and we bring up Goku versus Superman, Kid Goku from Dragon Ball that doesn't know the Kamehameha wave yet isn't beating Superman, right? And we can't say 40 years from now he's going to have Ultra Instinct. It doesn't exist yet, right? What can your character do as you've envisioned them here and now? And we have run into that in the past where it just becomes, he will. Right, I think there was back in the day. We had a fun. The first creator clash, if you would, was that I moderated anyway. I think this was back in the Battle Realm days, right? Lonzo's Battle Realm days, where I moderated Watchmen versus Absolver.
Yeah,
and it got crazy, right? Because then it talked about they started to bring up facts about what their character is going to do in issue 5, 6, so on and so forth, and it was just like, moderator here, those don't exist. That doesn't exist. At the time I think it was only was it only 2 issues out for both of them? I don't think Absolver 3 had dropped yet. I think Repellent, the whole thing with Repellent had just happened.
No, all of them had
3 was out at that point.
Yeah, but as you know, in Absolver, most you see a lot of Absolver in issue 2.
Yeah.
Issue 3, you don't really see.
Yeah, you don't see Absolver at all. You're absolutely correct.
So you were basing a lot of your arguments were based off of what you've seen Absolver go up against versus what you've seen Watchmen go up against and how they handled both situations.
Now, Lawrence, some of the time, so everybody doesn't have a sheet done by Tavis or us. And so when you see people at level 10, that's people that have had their character sheets done prior to this, right? And so based on their universe, like Tony Cottrell was on our show for season 2, and he has a stat sheet for his stuff in universe, right? So it doesn't quite coincide with this. So that's probably why you see people that have stat sheets that go up to 10 plus, so on and so forth. You may even be familiar with like Vince's indie deck, right? I'm pretty sure they had a stat all the way up there. So you'll see characters like Super Termite, even Legacy of the or the View from Specs that have those stats on there from that from the indie deck, right? So Dre says, well, you could make the exhibition matches only for those without sheets or feats in the book, and the full breakdown videos for those who do. Very valid, absolutely valid. Now this goes back to that goes back to what we're hoping for some of these matches. Like the exhibition matches are absolutely fine. What we do on Wednesdays and Saturdays will definitely continue. But one of the things, and back in the day, again, Tavis, Dre, Prince, you guys can, you guys remember back then, some of the things that we wanted was for you guys to challenge each other. And we've seen a couple of challenges. We've seen a couple of challenges, but we definitely hope to see it on a wider scale so that now, the exhibition matches, if we continue to do exhibition matches or really double down on it. But the hope is all the unofficial matches are just y'all talking trash to each other and learning about each other's characters and stuff like that. And through that, right, can be like, hey, I want to fight him on the board for real. Gets enough traction, enough people talking about it. It's kind of undecided that nobody knows. It's constant, really good conversation and back and forth what they can do. All right, let's move it up. Let's talk about it. Also, let's not forget about that tier sheet. Yes, we do need to check out that tier sheet as well. We definitely want to talk about that as well. Listen.
I did want to say that too. That's one of the things we really want to do, Tavis, is for the different iterations of your character, that's a different character sheet or a different card. You know what I'm saying? So I may have Acolyte, just a standard Acolyte. Then I may have the Moonwalker Acolyte. Then I may have, God Killer Acolyte. They're all Acolyte, but they're different iterations of them.
Right. So, yes, Trey, absolutely. That's what we're recommending because it does, we've seen pushback, right? Which is nothing wrong with it, but we've seen pushback in the conversations get heated, right? We're not blind to it. The conversations have gotten heated. And so, some people feel cheated. Some people don't. They're like, hey. So if we say street level, I think this happened way back when. We say street level, and then somebody, midway through the event and battle that was happening said, oh, but really they're a planet buster. And it was just like, we actually street level. It's a transformation. We asked for street level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of threw off everything.
It's kind of like the battles we do. Like when you see a Batman battle, usually when Batman's in a battle, people gotta be really specific at the rules because people get crazy with Batman for some reason. So you gotta say, like, with the exact version, this Batman with this, he has only standard gear in his utility belt. That's it. He don't got the Hellbat armor. He don't got none of that stuff. It's just standard Batman versus standard Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's fight. And that's what we kind of gotta start doing, man. We gotta just go with standard versions of your character. What can they do? And if you got a book, we are going to judge it off of what has been seen in the book. That's where your feats will come from. What happened in the book.
Right. So it's a double-edged sword and also reinforcement, right? So we definitely encourage everybody to get cards done, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a book, it's just adding more proof that your character can do it. Like we saw Blitz drop some imagery of some of the stuff that he does in the story, right? So it's like, okay, that adds validity to those things, right? However, again, we can't, like, if your character is destroying multiverses and we ain't see that,
feats
it's hard to quantify that feat then.
I don't say feats should really only come from actual source material, man. It can't just come from what you're saying he can do. Like when Zoriel was fighting Hopebreaker, everything I said I was only referencing from the book. I didn't talk about what she becomes, where she's gonna head to. You know what I mean? I didn't talk about none of that. Just only what I was able to show as an actual feat in the book. When he talked about summoning multiple demons, I had to show a picture of her fighting multiple demons. You know what I'm saying? Talked about, what weapon does she have that can hurt him? I showed the axe. I showed her fighting somebody that was stronger than him. You know what I mean? So, me personally, I think you should only be able to talk about your feats if you got something to actually show for that. Other
And
than that,
everything else
let's
is
just base
limited
it
to
off the
what you have in
character
the
sheet.
card. Yes.
Let's base off the character sheet. That's it. That's the only way to keep this fair, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only way to keep it fair. And losing is not a bad thing, man. You know what I'm saying? If your character gets beat, it happens. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean you're out of the group. You never fight again, never get called up again. You can fight as many as you want. We just want the fights to be good. The fights that are close are the fights we want. We don't want washes. We don't want standstills. We want a fight where, like Dark Spider and Hopebreaker, was a hard fight to choose because we were really trying to figure out,
Oh man.
who's going to get the last hit. Hopebreaker versus Oriel was a tough battle. Um, I think the other one that was good was All Star versus Blitz was a really good one, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that
All
was.
Star versus Blitz was a really good one. Um, because they're matches, man. Y'all gotta have don't be afraid to give your character some weaknesses, y'all. Because at the end of the day, you're also selling yourself as a writer and creator and as a
Right.
storyteller. So, people are watching, people are listening. They're trying to see what next book they want to add to their collection. And if you talking about some unstoppable character, people are already questioning, well, what's the story going to be about? You know what I mean? So just really think about that, y'all.
Absolutely agree. Bear with me. Putting some dinner on for the kids here, but here we go. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely all of that. Lost my whole train of thought, but I did look down here. Definitely get up with either us or Tavis here. He's been doing a great job with those. We brought up earlier in the live that we are also doing character breakdowns. Those of you guys that are unfamiliar, we do video breakdowns and talk about what these characters and stuff can do. I will show an example of that here in just a moment.
Ask mommy where it is.
Hold on, just a second. Matter of fact, since the man, the myth, the legend himself, the creator Acolyte is here, I might as well show the boy Acolyte.
Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Don't show my son. That's my son, bro.
My son.
My son.
Share screen. I was already sharing screen. I just need to change the.
As you know, when you get on the lines, man, the kids start talking, man.
Every
before
time.
receiving the Kokoro
Here you go,
force
y'all.
is said to be at peak human physique when compared to super soldier levels of strength. Even learning Nilogian martial arts, which has been compared
Bear with me.
as
This
the
is the first one
combination
I
of
did,
all
so I sound
martial
really
arts
low.
known to man wrapped into one art. Following his training with Abner, Acolyte is able to tap into the forces of the Kokoro at will, unlocking the strength to punch a moon out of its orbit around a planet. This feat was done when he first unlocked his ability before he completed his training. It's said that following his training, he is leagues above that level of strength. All of this was just in issue one, with the rest of the issues taking place around a decade later following his consistent training with Abner. At light speed, it would take 200,000 years to cross the Milky Way. Acolyte can do it in 2 days. Acolyte in the most recent issue is seen moving so fast that he was leaving behind after images throwing off advanced alien targeting systems. Pair this with his attack speed feat shown when he decimated 6 alien spaceships simultaneously. He's able to casually create shields to protect a mini Starfleet, and even remarking that he's made shields bigger than this. This shield was able to withstand a barrage of weapons fire from Xeno warships. He's able to use the Kokoro force to sense he's being watched and even revealed a cloaked spaceship. His energy blast that he can shoot from his hands and eyes can vary in strength based on the amount of dark matter he draws in via the Kokoro force, the upper limits of which are yet to be seen. At this point in the series, we've seen that with the powers of the Kokoro, Acolyte is able to be knocked down, but he has never sustained any damage, having contended with the Children of Chaos, an alien task force that consists of the strongest members of their respective home worlds, and even able to withstand blasts from a Therian warship. It's also rumored that the Son of the Supreme can even withstand black holes, giving him near infinite durability. All of this, and the Son of the Supreme, the man-turned-god, the Moonwalker Acolyte, hasn't even scratched the surface of his abilities. All right, let us know who you think.
So, example, that was the first one. So bear with my audio at that point in time. But yeah, those are the type of videos that we'd be making. Alonzo will absolutely be helping out with the audio on those.
Sure, and keep in mind too, man, that was all like the thing I love about that video was that was all things you were saying. You could show them. You could show. And yeah, it's unfair that some people are just getting in the game, just getting their books rocking. We understand that. That's why we're like, yo, just create a character card, create the different versions of your character on character cards, and you can rock out the same way. Just
Mhm.
know, people with books, we get held to a different standard. We get people will be like, yeah, he wasn't able to take that hit from Veles in issue whatchamacallit, or this and that. You know what I'm saying? So we get judged a lot harsher, man. And the battles are a little bit harder for us because we gotta, if we wrote it, then it's law, man. You know what I mean? That's what it
Yeah.
is.
And so, to answer your question, Lawrence, he said, why can't people with books back their characters' potential abilities with scientific fact like I do with Powerhouse? You absolutely can do that.
Yeah, for
There is
sure.
no argument there. Use whatever you can to defend your character. The concern or worry is, and I feel like this is the common consensus in here because we've seen it pop up before, so it's not completely kind of unhinged and out of nowhere, is that people feel like powers are being made up on the fly, and we don't want that. And so we're trying every route possible to avoid that feeling from kind of festering and kind of spreading, right? We don't want random powers to come up because, oh, I need to win this fight. No, we want you guys to be like, my character
Yeah.
only knows a Kamehameha wave. That's all he's got. Yusuke Urameshi, season 1 or season 2, he could use Spirit Gun one doggone time, 2 times. That's
Yeah.
it. Okay. But guess what he had to do? He had to get out the mud. He had to be creative. He had to use ingenuity. He had to use the street smarts. He figured out a way to overcome these challenges that he should have died from. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're looking for from these characters. We want you guys to be like, hey, I'm fighting Black Bow. Black Bow got 5 arrows. Like, how many arrows does Black Bow come into battle with?
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
question that's a question that I ask him, right?
How
He's
many?
not
How
coming
many?
with infinite, and he doesn't create arrows. So, fun fact about Black Bow, if you guys didn't know, created by Dab Comics, he doesn't make energy arrows, right? He carries a quiver full of arrows, and if he runs out of arrows, he ran out of arrows. That's it. So, how many do you come with in a normal fight? Oh, you rock it with 20, 30? All right.
20, 30. You
Yeah, I
better.
mean, you got some trick arrows and stuff in there, but we counting. We're counting.
You better make them count.
Right. And so, yes, support your character with, science, support them with feats from the books, and further support it with what you can from the character sheets. But if your character, I just disappeared from the screen, but if your character is only busted mountains, so again, example, Odina, right? If Odina is busted mountains, then no, she's not destroying a star cluster because she got upset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
so like let's stay. It's the consistency. That's the long and
Now
short of it that
maybe
we're asking
now
for.
now maybe there's a version of her that does that, but you didn't throw that card out. You know what I mean? That's not the card you chose. You chose standard base Odina versus standard base such and such. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want to go off of. That's how we make it. That's how we make it fair. And if you a talented writer creator and you submitted your character sheet, you should be able to stand on that and really do your best to win that fight. You know what I'm saying? Do your best to win that fight, because that's really what's going to make this interesting, man. You
Hmm.
submit your character. This is where you're going to see underdogs winning. Like Dark
Hmm.
Dark Dark Spider was an underdog in that fight. He won
Yeah.
because of the breakdown, how we broke down, how we set up the fight. We were able to see like, okay, my man could win if this happens or that happens.
Right. Very specific. Right.
Because of what both of them said their ending final blow would be, that's how we decided who was going to win the fight. So it's really up to you guys how you win that fight, man. You can have a character sheet with anything on it. You just make it make sense, man. That's it.
Right. Make it make sense. Because your argument, much like you go to court, your argument is what's going to sway the judges.
Yeah.
So make that part be
Powers
exciting.
don't always sway the judges for sure.
You said those extended stat sheets. Who was making those? Tavis has been making the character sheets.
Yeah.
Tavis has some character sheets. We also offer some character sheets as well, but the big thing that we've been working on is trying to figure out how we're gonna really offer and get these videos done for you guys. Those that sign up for one. But yeah, we offer them. But Tavis is the one that's been knocking those out. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Absolver, there go Absolver in the background.
Absolver getting it in. dodging some bullets right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You make sure you tell Jamil to come through with these feats, man. He got him. He got him dodging bullets, man. That's a feat, right?
Slit.
That's a feat.
And so, Tavis, wonderful statement here. I think some creators need to do a better job of explaining why their characters get stronger. You just can't say he gets stronger just because he can. It's not helping the judges understand your character, and eventually will sway the judges to not pick said character. Gotta explain better. So yeah, there's that.
So signing up for a video. The videos are really there for creators that have books. At the end of the day, we're looking to promote your books and your characters, man.
Well, actually, so the interviews to be on the show proper, that joint, that's the one that's like, hey, I need y'all gotta have a book to get on the show. Because again, so for the show, the caveat, you gotta have a book because we didn't want to run into the problem that we did in the group. We didn't want somebody that had absolutely nothing but in a page and a promise, an idea of end game versus somebody that has one issue. Right now, have we run into problems? Right, not problems, but our first randomizer, where our first matchup was Delta Dogs versus Black Bow. We talked about that earlier. Delta Dogs got 20 books out. At the time, they had 16 books out. Black Bow had one book.
20 books is crazy.
That's why it worked. So yeah, can there be a bit of unfairness? Can there be something? Sure, but there was enough explanation in Black Bow's story that made that fight way better than people gave him credit for. Right? There was a lot that we learned about Black Bow. There was a lot about what the action that he did in the series and all of the other good stuff that gave him the edge to stay in the fight and contend with them. Again, try not to spoil the ending. We want you guys to read it, but yeah. So for the videos at this point, the videos and stuff like that we have in here, anybody can get one. But to be interviewed and be on the show proper, you got to have a book. Point blank period. You got to have a book. And then you don't live that far from us, bro. So yeah, we could definitely carve out time and actually do the first in-person indie breakdown. I think that'd be freaking awesome.
He better do it before I do. I'm gonna come down there just for that, man.
Oh hell, there you go.
I'm gonna come down just for that breakdown, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So listen,
I
do the Zuriel one in person.
I do gotta get a Zuriel. I was just about to say that, but I do need a Zuriel one. I need a Pegasus one. I need a Sith Row one. I need all that, man.
Yeah, I got you. So, sure. But yeah, so if you guys want a breakdown of your characters, anybody can do that, and so we'll make the video all the same like this. Lonzo gonna get this audio right because man, the music, and then and there'll be some different music and stuff like that. He said, "I'm showing up dressed in uniform."
I'm kind of excited to do the audio, man. As you know, audio engineering is one of my favorite things to do, man. Playing with the voices and stuff, man.
So there we go. So yeah, get a card by Tavis, get a video by us, the whole nine. We gonna have you right. Somebody ain't gonna have you right. You're gonna have your character set up, and then these are things that you guys can use for your own personal endeavors, right? You got a Kickstarter going. You want to give them the character sheet. I see in Concrete, they have their stat sheet. They have their own personal stat sheet that they take to convention with them, and people stop and stare and be like, "What's this? Tell me more about this guy." So take these character sheets with you. Go have it as an add-on on a Kickstarter. Like,
a big part of our sales, because when they come to our table, we can only say so much in person, but sometimes they just want to read.
Right.
So, what's this character? What do they do? So the character sheets come in handy, man.
Mm-hmm. And then you talking about you got a Kickstarter or something going, you got this video about your character. Boom. They're like, oh, okay, that's a pretty cool character. What are they fighting against in the story? And the whole rest of your campaign is talking about what they're going against in the story? Come on, man. Come on. While I'm here, hold on. He said, Swift says, this is so cool seeing so many black characters. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. We met this young lady, Jay Wynn, this character, Zyla. We met her at Atlanta Comic-Con 2021. And I gotta give a big shout out to her because I had been talking about Indie Breakdown and Indie Versus for a long time. And we got to the point where I had interviewed her and we was talking about matches and stuff like that. And like 2 weeks later, I was dragging my feet. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. She said, you better stop being scared and have somebody throw these hands against me. And was like, oh, you know what? All right, let's get started. Let's go ahead and get the rest of we got all the rest of the interviews out of the way. We did that first creator clash thanks to when we did it, thanks to her. So big shout out to Jay Witt on that one. But yeah, it's so awesome because there's so many characters that are out there that people wouldn't have ordinarily run into unless, like, there's plenty of people that Alonzo has introduced me to. We're at the conventions and he's like, yo, this guy right here, fire story. You need to talk to him. Okay, cool. Go over there. The person tell me about the story. And it's just like, I need to buy that. And vice versa. So we want to add that same feeling online. I did not mean to cut you off. Say that again, boss.
No, I was about to tap in with Lawrence, man. Bro, definitely tap in with me through the DM or something like that. I do something on my Patreon. It's called Think Tank Thursdays, where creators can pull up and we talk about your character, break it down, man, and try to see if we can get you right. Think tanking is one of my favorite things to do. So if
that's a fact.
let me know. Yeah, I'm saying, if something you want to do, if you really want to get to the science of your story and how to break that thing down, I'm your guy, bro. I'm your guy.
And then we got Dre said, I'm trying to set a video before my Kickstarter. I'm getting a few more pages done now for the Kickstarter. Nice. And then with that being said, if you need either one of our helps with anything, we separately run our own consultations and coachings and stuff like that. So if you need help with that, definitely reach out to us, reach out to Lonzo, get it going. There's a lot of people that's in your corner, man.
Any services y'all need or have questions on, from printing to Comic-Conning to anything, we are an open book, y'all. So
absolutely,
let us know.
Absolutely.
Not all knowledge is free now, but
absolutely.
you're
but
definitely open to to guide in any way possible, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Last but not necessarily last but not least, but in regards to our sales pitch, if we would here. Another thing that we do offer, if you guys are interested in public domain, you got Batman and Superman about to drop in the next season. Not next season, but the next decade, if you would. So why not learn how to utilize public domain safely without running into any issue? We did that with the character of the Butterfly. We used her, and she's the mother of the Blue Morpho. So, we explained what happened in her first 2 issues, why she disappeared for decades, and how we continue the story from there. So if you want some extra characters in your universe, you want to safely use them without running into them, have some random bad guys on Villains of the Week, we do have a public domain masterclass for you guys to check out as well. The theme song for the video was
Willpower.
No, don't do that. Dang, I don't even remember. It was some random samurai video. It was a copyright free video that we used. But that's going to change soon. That's going to definitely change soon. That's definitely priceless info.
Hey, listen, man, I'll make your personal theme song for that, man, for sure.
Come on, man. So whatever Lonzo titles it, bro, that's gonna be the new joint. So we're not gonna use this one anymore. Because although it's copyright free, we did get some, messages from YouTube, and it was just like, bro, it said copyright free.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm so afraid for the community when Batman and Superman drop. Like, I feel like the way they snap.
I'm sorry. He said, "Can I send the theme song for the video?" Absolutely, you can send it. Yeah, for sure.
The way they snapped for Winnie the Pooh in them public domain, I'm afraid, bro. People are gonna go crazy.
Don't be afraid
with Batman and Superman, bro. Like,
what are you gonna do that's gonna stand out?
I ain't doing.
That's what I'm excited to see.
I'm waiting on Godzilla, man. I need him, man. I need that Godzilla, man. I need Godzilla, dog. And he about what, 2050 or something like
that? Something like that.
2050.
So we still got some time on that.
You know what? I'm gonna look it up because it's probably some dope domains floating around that I could recreate right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Swift says use polls to see what people want. It helps knowing what people want. Absolutely. And again, we haven't done one in a while, but back in the day, we ran some polls. People wanted a D&D style event. And I was like, man, I don't know about that. That's gonna take a lot. And you know what? Damn it, we did it. And that's what that event. Here we go. Perfect segue. Head on over to midnightcomics.org and read Enter the Mother of Chaos. That is that D&D event that we did a poll and people was like, yeah, that would be fun to do. We did that. That joint there was fun. It was so good that I'm still talking about to this day because I think that happened back in April.
That joint was
it
fun.
happened in April.
And it took the community to make it fun. Like people were really rocking out. Shout out to my man Nathan. Nathan was going in for sure.
Oh man, he was going in for real.
Nathan was going in. I really had to battle. Like I really had to play that joint out.
And you heard what Lonzo just said. He played it out. He was playing the villain.
Yeah, I was playing the villain, so I really had to think and try to, my goal was to take over the planet. And, I wasn't going to make it easy for y'all. But,
no, not at all.
And to keep in mind, man, I know a lot of y'all have suggestions and stuff like that. We are going to be looking for moderators soon to come into the group that can actually do some stuff, man, because it is really just me and Lloyd and Tosh, man, doing everything y'all see, all the postings, communicating. There's chat rooms that y'all don't even know about. Where we're gathering people together, we're making all these flyers. It's a lot. So
yeah,
if
a lot of behind the scenes for 3 people.
If anybody does want to be a part or help out or at least moderate the group, help the group stay active and drop dope conversations. Shout out to Dre Burke and Tavis and people like that.
Yeah.
We are looking for like 2 more moderators. So if y'all are interested, type in the chat for sure.
For sure. Dre, I definitely got you, bro. I definitely got you. And then to answer your question, Trey, yeah, you can absolutely send a specific theme song for Kosis since you have a Kosis theme song. Like if you want that as the breakdown video, we have no problem accommodating for that. Swift said, I'm taking over Superman if he go up, no question. Bro, listen. And like it's perfect because at these points in time, right, we're all just starting out, right, respectively, right? What you've been in it 5 years at this point, Lonzo. We've been in it 4, and you guys, of course, have started in your respective timelines and stuff like that. But to have everything set up, you guys are making names for yourselves now. So when these things do become public domain, I can't wait for people to be like, yeah, I want to see Dre's version of Superman. Yeah, I want to see Lonzo's version of Batman. You know what I'm saying? Let's build that excitement. Like how do these characters look in our respective universes? But obviously there are caveats, right? Tasha's not here. I'm not even going to speak. I know I talk too much and ramble. You guys got to check out the class. But there are some caveats when it comes to messing with public domain stuff and all the stuff that you got to be careful for. But they're coming soon. There is a way to utilize them. Find out how to utilize them at midnightcomics.org. But yeah, see, I already like this. The conversation with Lawrence and Trey, where it's just like, that artwork goes hard, like stuff like that. Like again, it's that visibility. It's y'all being able to see each other's stuff and be like, yep, I need to pick that up. Hell, after our match, Soul versus Blitz, Terrence went and bought Soul 1 through 3 digitally, right? And so it's stuff like that where it's just like, this is amazing, right? We're supporting each other, we're interested in each other's stories and stuff like that, and it's amazing to be and have this group to be able to kind of cultivate that kind of camaraderie and community, I think is the word I'm looking for. So please keep these conversations up, challenge each other, talk mess, have fun, keep it clean, right? But
keep it clean for goodness sake.
For goodness sake. So please. And just have fun. That's the big thing. Have fun.
Don't take yourself too serious, man. Like I said, it's not about winning and losing. It's about exposure.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
I would be remiss in saying this is a QA session. We had plenty of people come in here. The reinforcing the rules thing will be the rules will be held in higher esteem here soon. We do have rules. I think the one that we run into the most is the promo Sunday situation. Promos are for Sundays. So many groups that we're a part of, all of us are a part of, and can attest to what I'm about to say. A lot of those groups turn into just links, right? And we are trying our hardest to make sure that this does not turn into that. Yeah. We don't want links Monday through Saturday, right? Now, if somebody asks you, where can I buy your book? That's different. But just saying, Hi, I'm such and such. Buy my book. No. One of the things that we're trying to get across is by talking about your character, what they do, showing their feats, that is promoting, and that's fine. You're encouraging people. You're not selling to anybody. You're encouraging them to learn more about your character, and through that, they'll be like, "Where can I pick this up at?" Right? And then Sunday is the day that you just you go wild. Like,
Go
hey,
crazy.
buy this book, check out this Kickstarter, do
Go
boom,
crazy.
boom, boom.
And I ain't gonna lie, if you were talking to somebody like on a Tuesday and they ask you in the comments, hey, where can I buy that? Drop the link in the comment. That's fine.
Absolutely,
That's fine.
absolutely.
We're not saying you can't drop a link in a comment. We're just saying this group is about the battles, getting the characters out there. And Sundays is for y'all to go ham and sell y'all products. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Every other
Yeah.
day during the week, jump out, have a battle, call out somebody. You know what I mean? Y'all can call out people. Sometimes the battles we do are forced on us to do
Mm-hmm.
because y'all made such a conversation in the chat that we got to see the battle now.
Right. And so, Dre, you brought up, and the reason why that we're bringing this up, me and Tasha was talking about this the other day. There is one guy, and a lot of people thought they were the guy, but no, that guy is gone now. He is mad. He's mad. He had to go, right? And so, follow the rules. Please keep everything clean. Let's not talk too terribly heavy, but let's keep this group fun. I don't want it to turn into a sales pitch every day. I want people to be excited to be here, excited to share the latest epic thing your character did. We're all creators here, right? And that's the difficult thing. Like we all are making books right now and trying to get other people to buy it. Let's not turn this into another group that's just buy.
Right.
So with all that being said, yes, there will be and we will it'll be, I guess severe is the right word. It just sounds more intense than it needs to, but the we were just removing posts before, but we have some repeat offenders that nobody, how many messages like, hey, keep it for Sunday, keep it for Sunday, keep it for Sunday. After time 11, 12, 13, it's like, all right, we got to start dropping warnings and stuff like that because we need people that's going to follow directions. That's how we'll be able to continuously do some of these other fun ideas that we have, is if we're paying attention, reading the rules, and just reading and paying attention. Paying attention. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to run an event like we did in the past. And we'll speak to that in a second. We want to do more things like that. We have some contracts coming up soon, so on and so forth, coming out soon, but it requires, and again, we haven't done a lot of these since we were at like 200 members, right? There's 400 more people, almost 500 more people than there was then, and we want to keep that same spirit that we had then alive. So it requires people listening and paying attention. So yeah, Dre says, do you know how important this group is for a bunch of like-minded creators to talk? Because 80% of the world don't understand our passion for this world of comics. Right. This is huge. This is huge. So,
And that's why we must protect it, man. We must protect the integrity of the group.
Yeah.
That's why, when we do put on some more moderators, we want y'all to really love the culture of this community and uphold it, uphold the rules, and protect our village, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Protect the village. We all are doing things outside of this group. We all have our own companies. We all have books. We all have families. We all do all these things, man. But at the end of the day, this is becoming a village. We're all becoming real familiar with each other's characters. Crossovers are starting to happen. Let's just keep this thing going. There's no other group like this on Facebook. I don't know what's going on here, but there's no other group on Facebook or on the internet I've seen like this that highlights indie comic book characters.
Right.
Nobody's doing it.
Nope.
So we are. Because nobody's gonna share your content like you will, man. So this is what we want to do.
So let's do it. Lloyd, come here. So again, if y'all have any other questions, wait, what? Go ahead and eat.
What you saying? Oh, you
He
never
said,
said anything about the Heart storyline, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I've been working on so many projects behind the scenes. I've been reading so many scripts, but I'm definitely gonna tap in with that conversation for sure. Because a lot of people are hitting me up about multiversal events where we can all do something that's dope. But the dope thing about these battles is that we're getting to learn characters, learn their places in storylines, and how we can make a story that's actually good. Because how I'm looking, I don't want to just do for your blankie. I don't know. Oh, here it is, right here. Because I don't want to just do a story, just do a story. Like if we drop in a banger, we dropped a banger. Because my Concrete's name is on the line, Midnight Comics' name is on the line. We're not just dropping a story just for the heck of it, man. These stories they gotta be fleshed out. They gotta be crazy, and y'all gotta understand. Not every character's gonna make the list, man. You know what I'm saying? This is what
right.
it is. But we hope to have a place where every character can make the list, and that's what we're trying to build
I apologize. I'm still kind of eating in the background, but
here. Hey, bro, so am I, bro.
but yes, exclusively indie.
Mm-hmm. That's it, bro. We ain't doing no mainstream in here, man. Only indie Jones.
Nope.
There's enough indie characters for us to do this and never have to tap into Marvel or DC or anybody.
Yep.
Me and Lloyd could do this by ourselves.
Right.
That's how many characters we got. Don't get it
Facts.
twisted. Don't get it twisted at all.
Last thing I was gonna bring up, we started a second ago. Hold on, when the kids talk to me, huh? Absolutely. The last thing was the event. To go back to what we were talking about with like keeping the spirit and stuff of that alive. One of the things that we got to be active during the event. We had a situation where we did team captains, and we told everybody, if you're gonna be a part of the event, you gotta be part of the event. They had no response. The team didn't make it. The team didn't make it, and now it's canon to this amalgam indie breakdown universe, if you would. So, not saying which characters did, and no, we did bring up the whole situation pinpoint earlier. They were very attentive in that team, very attentive, but they weren't prepared for the action that Children of
Pinpoint
Chaos had.
just had to go, man. I apologize for that. I apologize for that.
The only time they were okay with mainstream characters was when I made them fight the indie characters. Right. And that's, and those are cool kind of quick conversations and stuff like that. Those will never be the main event matches and stuff like that. Just a cool kind of side conversation type. Like, yeah, could Dr. Manhattan come in here and what? Like, just, cool, fun speculation. But the whole thing is promoting indie all day.
Yeah, and it's everybody's allowed in here. It's not just all black characters. It just happens that we've been active, but everybody,
right? Because they out here. Sledge is in here. Super Termite's in here. That's
everybody can join. You just gotta be an attractive battle, or just call out somebody, and it got to make sense.
Yep. My hope is there's matches every day. Now we're only doing Wednesday and Saturdays. Your scorecard, which will be very prevalent in the coming months, will only be affected by Wednesday, Saturday. However, the bragging rights and the talking mess and all this other stuff and the visibility, that's all y'all, man. Talk heavy. I like the guy that Kerry Chung, I think his name is. He had Sledge versus Hopebreaker. I think he did, bro.
Really?
Yeah, he did that. I think he did that Tuesday last week, not this week, but last week, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just like perfect. Y'all talk about it. Let's because who knows anything about Sledge? But we learned about Sledge during that fight. You know what I'm saying? So that's challenge each other, talk heavy, make your matches and stuff like that. But no, if you get that message on Facebook from one of us, an official joint about to start.
It gets real. It gets real. Get ready.
Yeah.
It gets real.
It is hilarious. Look at this comment from Dre. Start giving away badges to some for people who are most active because I need like 50 of them. What did we literally bring up this week, bro? Literally. Lonzo actually was the one that brought that up. We need to try to do that. So be on the lookout. That's one of those changes and additions that's happening in the background. But also again, at the moment, it's just three of us now. Again, Shout out to Dre and Travis. They are moderators in the group and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's really just us. For the most part. So some of the other kind of tasks, JB dropping questions, stuff like that. Travis is rocking out too. But all the rest of the background stuff is just us three. We each have our own things that we're working on. So sometimes it's a bit slow moving, but it's coming. It's coming. But no, it's almost been 2 hours for me. Are there any final questions, comments, concerns, anything that you guys want to address? We'll be happy to do so before we get out of here.
Yeah, any questions, man, y'all got, y'all know y'all can always DM me.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, I'm with it. But I will troll. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-mm.
I'm saying? I will troll. Twisted.
All right. Well, y'all, if there's nothing else, thank y'all for tuning in. This was
the war.
On Wednesdays and Saturdays where you do videos for fights. I think that is going to be a new norm. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't see why not. I think that'll be fun. Yeah. Everybody has been loving that and stuff like that. So we'll make the necessary changes to try to get fights out kind of sooner and get those groups made and stuff like that. The one edit to it, I don't know if, because our intent, like the first time around, was to only be on for about 25 minutes, and just the three of us, me, Lonzo, and Jamel, that ended up being an hour. And then we brought last time on Rashawn and Spiff, and that was a long one. So I think we'll just, me and Lonzo and maybe one of the judges, or just me, Lonzo, and Tosh, whatever the case may be. But I think we'll just keep it to us discussing what it is and leave it to you guys to truly defend those characters in there. Y'all got to sway the judges, you know what I mean? And yeah, so
can't be us
and go from there. But we'll be on for sure. How long does a video take to make? For a video breakdown, it doesn't take too terribly long. Especially as long as you provide a decent amount of images. It doesn't take long at all. So what we'll need is, honestly, your character sheet, right? So the information about your character on there, whatever you want to share, feel comfortable with, right? Again, if you give us like a log line of the character, right? Like what the story is about or something like that, and then about the character and their abilities and stuff. So again, all stuff that should be found on your character sheet. We'll condense that down. Again, I'll do my thing, do the the voice work and stuff like that, and then and go from there, man. And go from there.
On top of that too, if y'all do want to have exhibition fights, y'all gotta run that through Dre. So Dre oversees all the exhibition fights. So y'all bring them up. Y'all, if y'all out there rumbling, y'all wanna fight, Dre gonna get you right.
Mm-hmm. Bars. I need to hit you up about an artist you work with. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I definitely got. Oh wait. Oh, somebody hit you up saying that they worked with us? Please clarify, because I may have an answer for you on that right now. I think I know exactly who you're talking about, and if it's who I'm thinking you're talking about, run away. Paige said I created Blazing Sun off a script crossover I had with Pinpoint and Soul. Damn it. Apologies. Well, if you want to do a Soul Blazing Sun joint there, that'd be fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'll be down. Damn, my fault, bro. My fault. We could make a standard list of questions and scenarios to act this way. It's like a scripted to stay on task. It won't bust time. We could definitely do that. If you don't mind crafting something, like kind of a base list and send it to me and Lonzo, we could definitely we could have a chat group and kind of expound upon that as well. She did Edmani. Yeah, no, and I apologize. I don't mean to be mean or anything of that nature, but we did run into some issues during the course of that that we didn't like. And so that's kind of, that kind of soured that. So I don't recommend, but if you want to take the chance.
Yeah, at your own risk, man.
At your own risk. So, and that's the other thing. Like, again, even something as simple as that, right? Where it's just like, hey, we know somebody, that's what we should be doing in the community as a whole. Like, hey, this artist is really good. You should go work with them. Yeah, I worked with them before. They did a fantastic job. They got it done quickly. Boom, 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 boom. But also the other side of it, like, hey, no, it didn't quite work out. But there's always something that we can help with from there, right? Lonzo's put me on with some artists before, and through the years has been like, they were cool in the beginning, but now I got a new guy because X, Y, and Z. He's like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? So just pointing people in the right direction. We should be doing that in here as a team as well.
Oh yeah, yo, if anybody ever says they worked with me or Concrete Comics, ask me first, okay? Ask me first, because don't let these people use our names to try to get $1, man.
Yeah.
Let us know. I'll let you know if they did or not, and I'll let you know exactly how that experience was. You know what I'm saying?
Look, more collaboration, camaraderie. Look at this right here. All right, Soul Blazing Sun and Solar, the Sovereign triple threat match. Paige said, let's talk. This is what we like to see. This is what we want the whole group to be, where it's just like, I got this. Oh, I got that. Let's do something. Now there's not going to be something that comes from everything, but just the fact that there's some sort of collaboration, people sharing, people, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's keep this kind of spirit of collaboration and stuff going. So anyway, not to make this into another hour-long video, before we go, as always, I definitely want Lonzo to definitely share what all you have available, what you guys, where people can find you and stuff like that. I'll just say, oh wait, Indie Breakdown Fest next year. Dre, elaborate on that. I'm curious. What we talk about, bro?
I
What
know,
we talk
right,
about, bro?
Paige. Yeah, I can't trust these cats, man. I've had people definitely drop my name to get a job, and I never worked with that person in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to tap in, man. Y'all know I got Acolyte 1 through 6 is available. Zoriel 1 is available. Issues 2 and 3 will be available early 2025. We got a lot going on in Concrete Comics, a lot of projects we've been working on, and we about to run it up, man. Y'all know, follow me at concretecomics.com or at any of my Alonzo Star pages on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, man, that's it. Y'all can catch me in the group, man, causing havoc.
Lord of mercy. Oh, Dre elaborated a little bit. Oh, didn't mean to do that one. Here it goes. A convention for our group. We can rent a hall and get us further out there. That sounds amazing. Now, we have seen these type of things go downhill. So that takes a lot of planning and plotting and trying to figure out. But I'm not against looking further into the idea for sure. But
I ain't gonna lie. Now we talk about a meet and greet at a Comic-Con.
Convention. There you go. Now
so
that,
like, say we all pick a convention we all meet up at. That's like maybe somewhere like a Blurred Con or something. We could do something like that. We all meet up, have a have a throwdown, have an event at a con. I think that's a better bet for us.
that'll be fire.
Yeah, and maybe by then our trading cards will be all done. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Uh oh. You know what I mean? Maybe we can actually have some battles. I mean, tabletop battles, man.
Look, sneak peek at some of the ideas. Sneak peek.
That's gonna be fire. Yeah, playing spades, whatever we do.
Yeah.
Book the underground mother seat, bring a DJ, done deal. Hey, listen, man. We can do that. We can do that.
I might can do that.
I'm not gonna do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, that's something we could easily do, y'all. So we're open to all that. First things first, though, we just got to make sure we get this foundation to the group and the company set in stone. Then after that, sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. But we gotta follow the rules first to make sure everybody's on point, and then we can really do that. So, guys, thank y'all. Of course, Lloyd Jones, half of Midnight Comics. Of course, the other half is Tashi J, my lovely wife, an amazing editor, who has also done work for Concrete Comics. She's an award-winning editor, thanks to their award-winning Kandaki. So shouts out to her. She's also our enforcer. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but she's definitely our enforcer when it comes to stuff. So don't get on her by the side. Fair warning to you all. But yeah, so that aside, again, Indie Breakdown show that we're breaking down all your guys' favorite characters, power stats, and abilities. The show will be back at the top of next year. Once the form goes up, 10 people that have a book are definitely welcome to sign up for the show, and everything that comes with it. We do, of course, like we said earlier in the video, you guys can go ahead and get the breakdown videos, whether you have a book or not. But aside from all that, midnightcomics.org, you'll get yourself a free digital copy of Soul if you sign up for our mailing list. And then we have the Midnight Soul collection available that has every issue of Soul, as well as the Powers That Be Super Team 1 and 2, which was a collaboration that we did with 13 other creators. 13 other creators. Again, Soul was in that story. And then I think that's it. Oh, we brought up earlier the Into the Mother of Chaos event. So if you guys want to read how that took place in the Indie Breakdown, the characters that were involved, how it turned out, and what the universe of Indieverses looks like right now, in our canon amalgam verse, definitely check that out, midnightcomics.org. And I think last but not least,
Mr. Block is on the way back, y'all.
There you go.
And I think October we want to keep it real villain heavy. Like I don't think we're gonna do no heroes in October. I think we're gonna do all villains, villain battles. So get your street level villains, your spiritual villains, cosmic villains, get them all together. We about the villains in the indie
villain season.
In the indie community, villains are not popular. We need iconic villains to be known, because Superman, Lex Luthor, Batman, you know what I mean, Joker, right. Iron Man, everybody has somebody. Mm-hmm. So y'all villains have to be powerful, and not powerful, they got to be popular. So let's do a good job at start putting these villains together, man. And
villain season is upon us. Then
villain season is upon us, man. So all October, we're doing all villains, man.
And with that being said, y'all heard it. He said, "I got 19 villains in Coasters Road Gallery. Let's go." See, we on the right track then. But everybody, before we hit the 2-hour mark, before we get re-excited again, he said, "I can't." Nope. He said, "I have characters to spare. My evil roster is crazy. It is. Zorthoth is a problem. Adelinda, I don't remember if she's a bad guy or not, but if she is, she's a problem." But anywho, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. And remember, until next time, midnight is coming.